Hi, I'm Chalice. I'm going to be teaching an ink painting class. So to get started, I wanted to introduce you to some of the materials so that if you need to buy something, you know what you're going to be doing and what you might want to look for. So I'll start with paper. Paper comes in two formats primarily. It can come in a roll. So then it just comes in these long sheets and you tear off what you need. Or you can get it in these sheet forms. So this is actually calligraphy paper, but I use it for practice paper. This is a bit nicer. This one's really antique. Some of my supplies I was given. A friend of mine, her grandmother had these, and she gave me some. So some of this is like things from Japan that I'm not sure you can get in the States, but you can get all of this stuff. You can get all of this stuff here. Maybe not exactly, but yeah. So some of these brushes, like this is an antique from Japan. This I got in China, as well as this one. Some of these others I bought in a shop in Japan. And some in the United States. There's some great suppliers right here in this country as well. So you don't need a stand. I just have the stand because I want to see my brushes. These work great too. So brushes come in a lot of different types of hair, different sizes. They can go from large to medium, small. I like to work medium to large because it allows for more freedom, and that's the fun part of ink painting. When you get a new brush, like for example, this brush is new, so it's pointy. It's so stiff you can't use it. You shouldn't touch the brush with your fingers, so don't do that. But you need to soak it in water for 15 to 20 minutes before you use it to let the bristles relax. So that said, we'll move on. So you typically want, just one sheet of paper. And you do need felt underneath to take on some of the extra water. This is a special kind of felt. It's really absorbent. Felt from the fabric store is all right. You can use that, but if you really want the best, these are, I think they're only like $10. You can just use rocks to hold down the paper so it doesn't slide around when you're painting. Okay, so ink. I use ink sticks. This is the traditional method. You get the most control. There are also liquid inks, but this is really for calligraphy. That's not what I recommend. Ink comes in a variety of different kinds, so they sometimes have these lovely designs. This one is brand new. I haven't used this yet, but you can see there's kind of like this little key so that you can see what you have. Ink comes in kind of a variety. It's always black ink on the white paper, but some of it, the ink is a little more blue, sometimes it's lighter. So you get some differences in the ink as well. So there's a variety of brushes, and paper can have different thickness and absorbency. The ink can have a different texture or color. So every aspect of ink painting is really specific. So I encourage people to try a variety if you can, and just get used to the feel. So with an ink stick, you need an ink stone to grind the ink on. So this one's fairly large. They come in smaller sizes. And then you will need your water bowl. This is the Chinese style in the round. The more rectangular one comes from Japan. So I just use my brush to soak up the water. There are scoops, or like you can squirt it on, but I would just do that because it's faster for me. And then you grind. This is kind of a meditative activity. You can go back and forth, you can go around in circles. So when you start to feel that the ink is thickening up, you feel the change in texture. The inkstone starts to stick onto the ink sticks, basically. So I want the excess water off so it's not too runny. So this is my blotting paper. This is old scrap, so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see what this looks like. So it's, it's fairly dark. That's good, yeah. Okay. So my blotting paper helps me figure out, how dark is it? How wet is it? I'm always working between the range of value from dark to light and also the amount of water from wet to dry. So that's what these bowls come in handy for. So let's say I want lighter. So I'll get a little water on my brush, just a bit of ink. Let's see. And then I can wipe it down on my blotting paper. See, that still has a lot of water. I just blot until it's about where I want it. That seems pretty good. So you see that's lighter, that's drier. So I'm not going to make you watch me mix ink and put meaningless lines on my paper anymore. I just want to do that so you can see how the ink stone and the ink stick work together, how the water and the ink come together, what the relationship between the brush and the paper is like. All of these things work together. That's kind of what I love about ink painting, is that there's this philosophy that is integrally part of the materials and the process. And that's really fun. So if you are going to join this workshop, I look forward to helping you learn to paint with ink.